but when I say my time coming, it's coming. And some of y'all got ahead of me. To be honest, I wasn't even running, but very soon I'ma run it. I demand it, man, I want it. Push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. This is fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. About too hard, ayy. They not gon' like this. Don't like surprises. I cause a crisis. Man, I'm a scientist. With the music, I spice things up to my liking. Man, I want nice things, nice things. That's not an AK, it's a Uzi. I pull up and shoot it to movie. I'm chasing the bag, not a coochie. Cut ties with the fake, now it's Gucci. Word of my niggas from the 021. You count 6 shots and I count 2 guns. Some people still think I rap just for fun, but soon they look up to me just like the sun. Yeah, you can come over here. Swear it's like no career. Swear you got no idea. Soon you have no career. Take a good look in the mirror. They need to know that I'm here. Don't you act like it ain't clear. Yeah. Push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. This is fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. About too hard.
Sarah, I hurt myself today trying to make the pain go away. Sarah, I want to fade away, be with the stars in outer space. You come and you go. You take me high, you take me low. But I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's Molly for the melancholy. Cody fill a hole inside me. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xannies till I numb my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Sarah, I lost myself today trying to find ways to make you stay. Sarah, I want to go away, close my eyes, never wake up again. You come and you go. You take me high, you take me low. But I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's Molly for the melancholy. Cody fill a hole inside me. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xannies till I numb my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Sarah. Put me on my misery. I don't want your empathy, I just want another enemy. I'm not gonna change a thing for you. I'm over middle ground, and I really wanna burn it down. I'm not your friend, and I won't pretend I am. So don't reach out, and I mean that. I'm under siege, and I need you to see that. You're on one side, I'm on another, and we will wage war upon each other. I'm no angel, you're not either. I'm at a fever pitch, you're at a leisurely pace. I'm unscathed, I'm unafraid. A warm welcome to the war game.
Welcome to the war game.
You're no ally of mine. Your life is a kind of lie, and I know that I won't change your mind. We have no common ground, and we're never gonna figure it out. So don't get friendly, get angry. I'll bury you down by the bar. So don't reach out, and I mean that. I'm under siege, and I need you to see that. You're on one side, I'm on another, and we will wage war upon each other. I'm no angel, you're not either. I'm at a fever pitch, you're at a leisurely pace. I'm unscathed, I'm unafraid. A warm welcome to the war game.
You put me in the perfect light for, and that's when you can see all my flaws. And I could tell you don't mind at all. Oh no, you said come a little closer, come here and I can show you. So I came a little closer. You said I'll show you how to love you, how to love you. How to love you. I'm reaching over, tell me which way I gotta go. I got no control, show me everything I need to know. Reaching over, tell me which way I gotta go. I got no control, show me everything I need to know. You saw me when I tear down my walls. I think you fell in love with my flaws. You know that I was shy at first though. Oh yeah. You said come a little closer, come here and I can show you. So I came a little closer.
anybody else going to forget?
All right, then, first thing we are doing here today at the Barclays Centre, hey, how are you, is we're going to have the MSI MGA Grand Final. It's a tournament that's been running, 4 teams, $60,000 prize pool. The winner today on the stage will get this trophy and also $30,000, which I say is a fine thing to happen. It's a nice way to start off what's going to be a great day of esports in one of the finest cities on the planet. That'd be New York here in Brooklyn. So that before we get the teams to come out, let us go over to your host this afternoon. I like to call him the SAS, Sponge and Sadakist.
Yeah, the SAS might be a bit complimentary for our intelligence level, but we're still going to try and bring you some Counter-Strike action, OJ. We're doing it just for you, in fact, but MSI's here as well, and we've got 2 teams worthy of contention, worthy of note, and a lot of people that would certainly know them around the world.
Yeah, for sure. Gambit youngsters obviously taking on Ex-Epsilon. Nobody wants to be an X anything, but at the moment they're looking for an org, and this is a good place to potentially find one. For people who aren't aware, we did this last year, right? We had teams come, and who won it? Avant-Garde, the team that was just in the grand final of a major. So when you think about this, this is a platform for some of these teams to get stage experience, to come to a bigger event, and get a chance to show what they got.
Yeah, and just to note as well, it wasn't that Avant-Garde was the only team here that was decent last year. We had Complexity as well, and that was off the back of the major, if you remember the timing of it. So the fact that they actually didn't make it through and Avant-Garde took the win there, that says a lot. We also had this year Riot Squad in attendance, which has
FNS in there.
FNS, PTR Peter, that's been around for a while. So there's been some notable gamers. In fact, Vici as well. There's another one that everyone
they've been upsetting Tyloo recently over in the Chinese scene, and coming into this, I think they were one of the highest seeded teams. This is seeds 4 and seeds 3 who are actually in the grand final. You can see some close matches, and the score lines, that tells you it's all been best of ones, and the final will be a best of one as well.
You say some close games. The Vici one's the most surprising, I think, in the lower bracket, because Ex-Epsilon just destroyed them 16-2. You also mentioned they've been upsetting Tyloo. I think that's a worthy note, because Tyloo is kind of rebuilt right now and supposed to be the, Asian Dream Team finally.
It's a bit of trouble for them. They're having some moving parts recently, but they did qualify for IEM Beijing eventually, but they lost in the Chinese qualifier to that of Vici Gaming. Off the back of cards, there were some massive performances. So look, for them not to make it through to the final, you have to question what's going on with Chinese Counter-Strike, but it doesn't matter because Gambit youngsters, they're looking hot. I like this Shiro kid.
Yeah, he's definitely one that's up and coming. Maybe someday he'll be as famous as our man on the stage. OJ, I'm talking about you.
I wish. Right then, it's time to get the teams out here to play for you. And I think it is a good setup we've got today. 2 teams on a massive stage. It is great to have them here. So please welcome the first team out to stage. That is Ex-Epsilon Gaming. If there's one positive to not having an org behind you, you get to wear your own clothes on stage. Bit of a winner there for Ex-Epsilon Gaming. Let's bring out their opponents for this best of one, and that is Gambit youngsters. Full uniformed up, so then it is a best of one. We'll see who takes, and I'll hand back over to get this started to the SAS once more.
Thank you very much, OJ. Yes, we're looking forward to getting into this one. It's nice to see Gambit jerseys on a stage again. You mentioned Avant-Garde being in this. Let's not forget that Gambit and Majors also had a final. In fact, they won that final back in 2017. I know this is the youngsters, but their top squads kind of dissolved a little bit.
Well, they're playing for big money as well, right? First prize here is $30K. That's quite nice when you want to be, getting your foot in the door with the tournaments like this. We do get to see a team like Gambit youngsters playing in the minors in the CIS region. Yes. We have been seeing where they've been going. Now, they don't have a lot of LAN experience. They've been playing primarily online. So this is a big step for them in playing in an arena and getting an opportunity to play against a team like Ex-Epsilon, who has experienced names. You were mentioning Surreal before.
Yeah, absolutely. Surreal played with Complexity for a period of time. Obviously, the UK player that's jumped over with them, but he's had experience within the UK as well. I think he played with Smooya for a little bit of time. I think he played back with Rattlesnake as well. He came in a little
really
bit
rolling by the years now.
Yeah, I know. He just came in just after sort of Henry's era, and is certainly someone that we thought was going to break onto an international scene. Had that brief moment, that brief tenure playing alongside Def, again, with Complexity, but now it's another breakout period for him. And again, don't discount the breakout potential that these tournaments do have, because there's another similar challenge that we have in Cologne every year. And last year, I suppose, 2017, Big was playing in that, and then in 2018 they made the final of Cologne.
True.
So
Yeah.
you can elevate your game pretty quickly from this
Doesn't take
sort
long.
of tier 2 level.
Well, we have Brokey as well, who was part of Ex-Epsilon until he got picked up by FaZe Clan, right? So
Good point.
there's a lot of names that have come through this Epsilon banner. Now, you have to have a look at who are some of the names that we've seen recently come out of that squad. Well, not recently anymore. Like Blame F, he was playing with these guys once upon a time, right? So a lot of names have come through. Now they've gone heavily Bulgarian, right? You have to look towards this. You have to see some of the names in the squad.
Victor.
Yeah, that's one we remember, right?
Spy Leader, Bubble, Victor. That was the G Play. What was that? What was the former name?
Many a name. These
Yeah,
guys
they had
have been
many.
out there.
That team did go
Windigo
through
recently
some...
for Victor. That was
Yes,
one of the
exactly.
teams that he was. We have the likes of Ships and stuff in there now. They've left as well. So lots of moving parts. This team right now just seems to get whatever talent they can and do the best with what they've got. So we don't know where they're going to end up, but we know that they can definitely play some solid European Counter-Strike. And just here as they're having the last few words, we do know the map. I don't know if we're showing a veto.
That's what I was going to say, because we are going to be coming into a best-of-1 situation, as you say. They are going to show you the veto in just a moment on the screen, Chad. But best-of-1 situation on a stage is always a bit intimidating, because you've got to make the right decision in that veto. Typically speaking, with 7-map pool, narrowing it down to 1. If you don't get a map you're at least somewhat comfortable on, you've kind of messed that up pretty badly.
Exactly, right? It's difficult to make a blunder here. And I think, between teams like this, we're talking about Ex-Epsilon probably being a little bit puggy. You see it would probably go towards more like, I expect something like a Mirage, right? Where it can be scrimmy. That's a good CIS map as well. There's no reason that a team like Gambit youngsters wouldn't want to play on that one. As we chuck on through here, we're saved from the Vertigo, so that's quite nice.
That is true. I've never casted Vertigo.
You get to make up the spot names, though, Matt.
Well, the problem is that people have already started doing that, and I'm a little late to the party,
Okay.
so I couldn't just name everywhere Jaden like I would. But Mirage, this is a good middle ground map. It's not... Look, I kind of agree. Semler made a tweet yesterday that Overpass and Inferno have kind of become the best map 3s, and you're kind of looking at this as a map 3. It's the final map in a series, essentially a best-of-1. You're toward the end of the veto. Mirage is a bit more, I guess, team-based. You've got to definitely be on point as a team on Mirage to get executions down. Sure, there's a lot of mid-control, there's a lot of pandering over trying to get the first pick, but there's still a lot of execution required.
Yeah, look, I want to talk about this map a little bit, but when you have a map like Mirage, I mentioned puggy. What I mean by that is you have a very loose style on it. A lot of teams, a lot of individuals, they know all the smokes, they know all the flashes. The meta of this map has been definitely worked on out. It's hard to change it, right? Sure, towards the end of the middle of last year, we were seeing a lot of mid-control. The top mid-smoke from the CTs, them going hyper-aggressive. The Ts worked out ways to counter that. And from here, how much more depth can you really look at? You've got your mid-control, you've got your A execute, you've got your fast B execute. Sure, an extra Molotov, an extra smoke, maybe for a tendency of a player, but realistically, we're not seeing anything changing the entire way the map's played, and that's why I think it's probably the next one to go.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It might be. And there's no word yet as to, I mean, I guess there never is until it happens with Valve, but there's no word yet as to whether or not a map will be dropped if a certain map we know is coming back, which we might see today.
Yeah, just hang around for that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Is going to be implemented into the pool straight away. How do they do that? We do have something, I think, from finishing point of the last major was 255 days. I haven't done the math. We're down to probably 230-something days toward the next major.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but the point is, Valve's typically done it at the majors, not before. But there is time enough that they could in this cycle if they wanted to.
There's going to be that whole CS20, the anniversary of Counter-Strike, right? Yep. So potentially, maybe there we see something with a little bit of a change. Obviously, if Cage was to come back in, that's doesn't really work in the same way as if Dust 2 was to come back in. But there's an opportunity there for them to go for a bit of a map change.
You did promise you were going to call it Cash, I think. in the future.
What did I just say?
You know? You said Keish again.
Oh God.
You said
it's going to take me a long. Okay.
I
Well,
know.
when we get the preview later, I'll announce to the world that
it's cash. All right.
It's cash from here on out.
Cash money. Yeah. All right. Look, we can just say it. It's been leaked on social. It's been said many times. The show match a little bit later on the stage, which they've announced the 9 players for. Have they given us the 10th yet?
I think we got the 10. I think it was Config.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right. It was
Config. Because we had Steel come in, and then Config was the last player there. So that one should be exciting.
I had a theory. I thought it was going to be Cold Zera, and they couldn't announce it because that would reveal that he was unfazed.
Yeah, that would have made it there. Yeah.
But it's not, alas. Either way, it's going to be on cash. So we'll see the new map today. FMPONE and Sal, Volcano. I combined the two. Yeah, their latest iteration, and we know there's been one notable change with the curved wall toward the A side. I'm excited to see the rest.
We have had an opportunity. They've been in our green room the last couple of days. We've had a chance to pick their brain or ask them some questions and see what they've been thinking about it. So we won't give anything away, but we're all very excited for it. And hopefully these players are too, because we should be getting underway apparently momentarily.
I had a countdown a moment ago.
This is the thing right here. What we're looking at on the stage, for just those of you who maybe you're not familiar with it, going from the normal backstage environment, sure, you still wear the soundproof headset, you still have the in-ears, but you're just dealing with, it can shake you a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. You're looking out, you can see it's a different landscape. You're not just looking at a wall in front of you.
I found it, just to note on that, I mean, you've had more experience on, well, actually, you didn't get to too many stages. So we've had similar experience on stages. Look, I did a show match in Cologne in 2017, and I actually was surprised at how little you could see just based on lighting.
Yeah.
Which I actually found was kind of pleasant. You still have the ability to hone in and zone directly onto your monitor and not get too distracted by what's going on.
That's one of the things, though, right, is when they're in the server, a lot of, well, I would say 99% of the focus is on what's happening, because every round is so intense. It's very difficult to get broken by that, especially when you're flowing through your game plan. You've been sitting there, you're watching the demos, you're just going through the motions. That's the whole point of all the practice we talk about. Being prepared for these scenarios is so that you don't get shaken in an environment like this. So coming into it, we've already seen Gambit youngsters beat Ex-Epsilon in this tournament, right? That's already happened once.
Absolutely.
So you would have to say that they're going to be the favorite going into this one right here. It's just going to be, will the youngsters be able to quell that exact point? Are they too young for this stage already?
Yeah, Ex-Epsilon's look pretty impressive, I think, especially that victory over Vici Gaming. I didn't have the full context of that, but 16-2 against Vici on any day. I mean, that's something that we would say maybe Astralis would achieve. And even then, that would be a poor day for Vici, because we're typically used to seeing them getting 8 or 9 rounds. They've had experience at majors. They've been to DreamHack Masters events. We've seen them at Star Ladders. We've seen them enough within our landscape to expect a little more than that, I think. So that certainly does hold promise for Epsilon, but again, I hold faith. Maybe I'm romantic. Maybe I'm being endearing. There's something about the Gambit name that I still enjoy.
Well, they have jerseys, Matt, so that's probably one step in the right direction right there. You know what I find very interesting is how many people have come out this early to watch. Props to you guys.
I think they're here for you, Chad.
Oh, well, that's nice. Thank you for coming out for me.
See? That guy said it.
Yeah, there's a guy here at the front with some clappers. He's getting excited too, so.
I like it. Well, we should be in any second. I think they were just sorting TeamSpeak. As you say, there's a bit different environment, but different setup even than these guys would be used to. You know, when you get a pro team come in to a LAN environment, they know immediately how and when to jump in and plug everything in. They've got the SSDs set up for them. It's a little bit different if you don't know why, but here we go. Mirage, Chad.
A favorite. An oldie but a goodie, that's for sure. We're going to get this one underway. We've got the buy coming out from Gambit youngsters starting on the T side here. They will be going with a smoke and a flash in the hands of Nafany and a decoy for Inters. The rest of them have armor. We're going towards middle early.
Crucial's already making contact. USP at range. We know that certainly does favor over top of the Glock. 1 P250 bought up. You said star player Shiro. He's going to have armor to go with it. Single flash and smoke for Nafany, and he'll try to be the man to get the bomb down. So his smoke, his design. Surreal's the one that's being tactical on the other side. He's the only kit to note as well, and currently is the only one on the A site, but it's a very much retake setup. He stays passive towards CT. Crucial will catch the cross. No, he will not. Absolutely shut down. Surreal does get one back. Spellin, though, he cannot get back through the vents. He has to contain, because if he gives that up at this point, Tees can wrap and push towards CT. So right now the attack is on Nafany. The distraction has to be held from spawn, and there's a flank coming through from the B site. This setup from Gambit, this is going to overwhelm. 4 players already on CT stairs, though. If they're fast enough, if they can get by Supra and catch out Nafany toward the cave, they have a chance to get on the bomb. They're going to hold the defuse. Surreal goes down. Nafany just barely got it. We didn't catch it, but it was on the edge of the smoke, and that in itself was the round, because he was the one with the kit.
Felt clean and easy, really. They got a lot of territory after that initial trade went down. Shiro popping the head off there just to get things started. And once they had the territory over towards jungle, it's very difficult for the CTs. You spoke about getting through that vent. That's the close range. That's what the Glocks want to take as fights. And then with Zaxiel, who actually, he got promoted to the proper Gambit squad for a little while there.
That's right.
He's now back. He, with that flank, was able to make sure that there was a contingency plan in place in case they did lose some early members. We'll be seeing the full eco come out from the side of Ex-Epsilon here. AK's in the hands of Inters and Shiro, and then we've just got some MAC-10s for the other three, establishing mid-control early once again. It'll be a fast B push, so we're going to get some action here very early.
Seal's the one that's waiting for it. This is a good chance for him to farm up some cash. He only got 2. I thought maybe a 3rd. Maybe Victor would fall. He does not. They certainly know the positions and are ready for it. Bomb at Horseshoe they had to be a little bit weary of, but they get the MAC-10 and they fall away. The rest should go on to A because that's being cleared right now by Inters.
Yeah, and they should be contained because not only did he get 2 kills, he had all the information. So at this point, you can see they've grabbed the bomb, they'll be making their way back. They're just making sure that no pushes will be coming through mid. And now they can get another open plant because knowing that they have the MAC-10, you can play to the ranges of these 2 AK-47s. If you're Ex-Epsilon in this position, what you're looking to do here is grab any cheeky kills that you can, maybe even hold on to this MAC-10 if you want to go aggressive in the following, because we will see a buy come out as we move into round number 3, but it appears they just want to hold on to what they have scavenged.
So Crucial. Quick check toward the B apartment. Supra, run and gun, gets by the vents. The only other possible position in which they could wrap back. Nafany wants exits. MAC-10 carried over is not a huge deal for them, but certainly they can farm up more cash. They're going into sort of a bonus situation. They've got 2 AKs already. It's almost worth it to sacrifice one of the SMGs to try and build up a bit more bank.
Yeah, if they want to play the long game of the money, that could be one option. Or, if, as you mentioned, the bonus round scenario right here, knowing that head armor is not going to be plentiful on that Ex-Epsilon side, if they want to go for one of these hard B plays that we're talking about, get those smokes up towards the pillar and jump a couple of guys out with MAC-10s and flashes behind them, they could crack open that bomb site very quickly. Well, that right there appears to be what I would call a technical issue.
Well, and again, this is the getting used to the setup. You can see the admin saying, no, you don't have to plug that into the tower. It goes through this sound box that equalizes everything for you. So it is, like I said, they've got it set up to be very convenient on these stages. But if you're not a pro player who sees it every single day and knows how to implement yourself into it, you can understand the confusion. So it does look like a sound issue, but it should be sorted.
I have a funny story, Matt.
Do you?
Yeah, I think I've passed the threshold now of funny story. So I'm old, for those of you who didn't realize that. But back in 2008, I was part of a thing called the Championship Gaming Series. And we were playing on the stage against Fifi's team. And we did all the setup, and this was one of the first big stages that we had ever really gone to. And I was a little bit nervous. I was only 18 at the time. And we did the whole headset setup. And it's not like these mics, Matt, you know how we just swivel the headset around. It doesn't matter which side the sound's coming through. In Counter-Strike, ladies and gentlemen, sound is very important.
Yep.
For the entirety of the game, I had my headset on backwards.
Yeah, and no one would have noticed because your stats were the same.
Oh, well, he's right.
Look, that happens more often than not, specifically with the earbuds, because when you have a headset, you typically know which side the wire's on. It's pretty easy to follow along. I do enjoy, if I wear earbuds, wearing ones that have the directional silicone. I typically wear...
Okay.
Well, I don't know if I can say because I don't want to be offensive to anyone that's sponsoring that's not who I'm going to say. But yeah, there's some...
Well, we know Big had some molded, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they had custom molds, you're right, which certainly helps. But sometimes when you wear the ones that are symmetrical, shall we say, it can happen. I'll just say it. It definitely can. And you'll get your sound backwards.
Looks like the drama has been solved very quickly there, as we were expecting. And you see they've upgraded here. They didn't even... Well, they're holding on to that MAC-10 from the CT side. The Ts will manage to keep 2 of their own. And let's see if they want to go for something quick. 4 members will make it 5. Swiftly heading over towards the A bomb side. I suspect we'll just see a swift execute towards this side of the map.
Crucial this time takes a different approach. So remember, we saw him on the pistol round trying to peek window. He knows that the smokes are going to be in that position, goes toward connector instead. That's where Spellin is. Cyril's quite aggressive as well, and Cyril might actually be able to catch them off with the M4 because they're going to be completely overwhelmed and contained. They could not control Shadow, and now he gets the pick of the litter as he walks out from triple, and that gives Victor a chance to support and get the final kill. That's a decent setup from Gambit. A lot of pressure toward connector.
The problem there is the fact that they didn't go for something off the bat,
He's done what he just reversed them, so he had them in the wrong ear too.
Yeah, this happened to everybody, right? The problem with this scenario is, right, they threw a mid smoke and then they were a little bit delayed on their A hit. We knew that there wasn't going to be a lot of utility going in for Ex-Epsilon just based on the fact they were going for the 3rd round buy. So when you keep that in mind, if you want to go fast, go fast, knowing the utility's not going to be there. Use your superior utility and make sure that they don't have a chance. But here, they went mid control, they got control, and they could rotate all their members over towards that A bomb site. And obviously, some big kills from Surreal. So we're going to get back underway. It will be another gun round. AWP in the hands of Shiro. I've seen him do some things very simple-esque, Matt.
He has been a player that has a lot of hype behind him. I've heard Anders talking about him as well. Anders was one of the first ones. I'll give him credit because, look, the guy likes Pauf and keeps saying Markelov's back on and off, so you can't always give Anders credit. But he was one of the first ones to spot Electronic and say that this guy is one for the future, and he's turned out to be absolutely right on that.
He also said MIBR were going to win the major.
Yeah, okay, all right.
There's a saying about throwing stuff to the wall.
Point in case.
And seeing what sticks.
1 in 100, but that was the one.
What is it? Oh, a broken clock's right twice a day.
And Anders is right once.
Well, this one's played out quite slowly as we've just ticked below 1 minute. Still don't have deep mid control. They're very passive towards the top mid boxes here, and they're lining up some smokes and flashes. But the CTs have stayed relatively forward. NK with this boost position, 45 seconds left on the clock. This starts to become worrisome. It is going to be a B split.
Okay, holding off toward the apartments with Bomb. Will wait for his teammate to do the work. Nathany, meanwhile, caught by Crucial. This gives them cat control, or does it? Because Supra able to trade, but that gives NK permission to fire back in the other direction, and Surreal's able to rotate over. He now can rotate back in NK and focus on the balcony. Now that the guns are up, you're seeing why Ex-Epsilon's team play is perhaps superior. It's certainly been decent in the first 2 rounds. First 2 gun rounds, that is.
They didn't have to move around the map too much there, and that's one of the things that you can really take advantage of, especially with teams who are adding in new players all the time, right? Ex-Epsilon, we mentioned that it's more of a team that filters players through, and look, let's call it what it is. Occasionally, it's a mixed team. They're obviously wanting to try and find the best roster they can, but if you can fake them out, if you can string them out a little bit more, that's when the communication breaks down and the protocols. Lack of practice comes into play. So we'll be seeing a full eco come out from the side of Gambit youngsters as they've lost the last 2 rounds on the trot. Found themselves in dire straits economically, but the push from Spellin, he'll take 2. There's going to be a 3rd. He'll grab that one as well, and NK will finish off Inters, and that's going to be the 3rd on the board for Ex-Epsilon, as now they're starting to get it cooking here.
Yep, absolutely. Pistol got away, but everything else goes back in their favor. Remember, they did go 1 bonus round on the Gambit youngsters' side, so as we get a technical delay, there's a decent amount of money still on that T side. Bomb, not quite a factor in the most previous rounds, so they didn't get the extra bonus on that, but they have built up a bit of cash. And with that, I will not speak of the buy until we know that they are underway again.
Yeah, looks like it's been fixed very quickly, so we are going to get back underway straight away. Maybe the tech pause didn't go as they had planned, but we will see 2 SGs coming out, 1 for Shiro, 1 for Supra.
And you can do the math based on subtraction. No one had enough money for the op. Supra was $100 light, so they go with the Kriegs instead. No T-sided op. There certainly is one on the CT side as Crucial gets out toward Catwalk, and Supra immediately feels the pain from it.
He's going to get caught out here towards Connector if Nathany's quick through the smoke, but unfortunately for him, he's going to, maybe fortunately for him, he'll take down Spellin, and now they will trade out for a 4v4.
That's a pretty risky move to go through that smoke and kill off CT side of it first, and then have to turn around to Catwalk.
He's the in-game leader of this team as well, Matt, so some big plays coming out from the youngster here. He's going to back his way up through Connector, and this is the chance. The smoke's going to fade. Crucial will grab a second, and now it's completely under lock and key. It has to be contact over towards the A-bomb site. Not a lot of utility to work with. Steps have been made, and under the balcony is Surreal. He's done a fantastic job of anchoring this bomb site in the early stages. This time round won't get anything done. We have a 3-on-3 if they can get that bomb down.
NK with the first and second as they walk down underneath. Changing angles, not easy to do, and he gets away with 20 HP, in which he can now try to use in his favor against Axiel, who will get the bomb from Sandwich, but has to contend with Victor as well. And given that they're low HP, they try and double up position for trade. He actually baits out the shots, knows where they are, but can't land. And in behind the box, he doesn't have the information as to where the second player has gone. So to try and clutch this back now becomes more and more difficult. 23 seconds, even just trying to bait a few players out. He should identify that he's now heard an M4 and an AK. That means 2 players have to be to his right. And as Sechi goes to commit to the plants, he's forced out by the Molotov, gets back inside of Firebox, but they will be able to figure that out quite quickly based on the position of those flames. And as Sechi now sits in a cage, trades off the first, they've got to go quicker. The plan for Victor had to be to slide out sooner, but he still gets away with it.
Good round there from NK. I know he died there without finding that last kill, but the fact that he had 2 in transition, had the Molotov there to displace Ex-Epsilon and make it difficult, and then sacrifices himself so the high HP player can make the trade, gets the AWP and the defuse. So everything working right now for Ex-Epsilon is maybe we need some quicker plays coming out from the side of Gambit youngsters. This slow, methodical style is a bit janky. They're not really doing it as a team. They're not finding a lot of utility.
You're the first person I've heard use janky outside of mountain biking, so thank you for that.
Oh, okay. I haven't been watching any mountain biking videos. Maybe it's just the Australian vocab.
It could be.
I've been trying to bring a little bit of it back. I don't know if it's coming through or not, so we'll see. In America, it's quite easy to get away with it. Everyone notices straight away.
It's not hard. It's pretty limited vocabulary here, Chad, you know? It's not hard. I'm just kidding. We're no better. He looks a bit like Shroud, doesn't he?
A little bit. On like an angle, if you tilt your head.
All right. Well, either way, I think you're onto something with the speed play. The fact that they got the bomb down a little bit quicker that time, you could see what it actually created for them. It was a battle of trades at the end, and unfortunately the round still got away from them, but it was by far their best effort, getting it down to a one-on-one with Victor.
Does Victor have a gun?
I was just going to point that out. There we go. So, okay, $7,100, you should hope he has an M4 still in spawn. Not only that, he was the only to survive. Interestingly enough, he must have gone down to the bomb afterwards because he had an AK at the end of that round, and now there's all M4s.
He picked up the AWP for Crucial, I believe.
Right,
so he wanted to swap out for the big green, which is curious when you do have, he had 10K before he bought that M4, right? You could have just bought an AWP and kept the AK, which some people might think is more valuable. But this duel right here, it could be a big one if Nafany's able to get the kill. He's on his own, so he's trying to draw the fake. If he finds the frag, it could force a rotation and allow the other 4 members of his squad to make their way onto that A bomb site. But Surreal, once again, chiming in with Crucial this time, who's back towards Ticket. They're going to find 2 between them, and Supra eventually gets the kill with the Deagle.
Another Estonian player, HS Rops. We've seen a few break onto the scene, and he's going to break down the scene in this round. 2 kills for him so far. That clears out the A site, requires rotation, and they're clearing toward B. Is Victor going to get a spot?
Surely he's heard it. He didn't hear it?
He didn't. And Nafany's behind him. I don't know if he's spotted him yet because he's gone toward bench. I'd love to see his position as he pushes through. In fact, I think he did spot him because he's trying to close the distance right now. So not clearing for flank, instead wanting to push catwalk back. And so much noise from Victor. This could be it. Deep shot. Oh, he's got to land it, and he does. He gets away with it. They now have the sight. He will not push for the gun. He still knows he has to hold off for his teammates, and work to be done yet because the rotations were swift. And as a result of that, NK has vision. But Nafany's gone to another excellent position. This time gets away. Super finds his third on a Deagle, however, and it's a 1-2, but the M4 is enough. A Deagle miss inside connector, and that could have been it.
That was an interesting round. I think that's how we talk about that one. NK putting that smoke down, right? He heard them rotating through spawn. Because they didn't know Nafany had already made it out of B apartments, he thought he was doing the right thing. He gave them an avenue towards the B bomb site, and that round became more and more possible. But it wasn't possible without Super grabbing these 2 trades over towards that A bomb site. Make that a third with that swift shot. But the guns will come back out. The AWP for Shiro. SG again in the hands of Supra. Let's see how they want to tackle it this time. It's a bit swifter over towards middle. And they'll wait for these smokes to bloom before giving away another free kill to Crucial towards middle. Or will they? No, they won't. They don't seem to learn their lesson. Is that a missed window smoke?
It definitely was. We saw the walk throw attempt from spawn, so that just didn't make it, didn't go far enough. Landed on the ledge. Crucial identifies it, and crucially gets the kill for it. Takes a bit of damage trying to look down below. It's Nafany that comes out worse for wear, and Victor's going to capitalize on the chaos until Shiro arrives to punish Crucial finally. So the window smoke, I suppose, goes both ways, but you can certainly tell that Gambit are worse for wear.
Yeah, you can't be missing those. That is something we should fundamentally, at this point, teams should be hitting every single time, especially with the jump line being allowed. That's something which should be simple at this point in time.
It's back in the, there was a large debate about that for a while.
I remember the debate back in 2015. I was one of the people on the side of where we are today. I'm a forward thinker, Matthew. Ahead of my time. Ahead of my time.
Peaked too soon, some would say. Shiro can't land. Smoke will go off toward jungle. That'll allow them perhaps a more confident entry. Nafany again is going for these flanks. Problem is this time Bomb's on A, 35 seconds, and they don't have... Oh, no, this is the wrong call because they're going to rotate back, and look who's going to be...
Again.
Perfectly positioned. NK is going to be immediately between them. Bomb goes down. This is round, but you've got to have a gun in your hand to take the fight. Smokes himself off. Bit awkward now, but he's buying a little bit of time, perhaps. Secondary flash, they found him, and Shiro gets him down. There's time enough, 18 seconds, they can run it, but you're right, they spotted the fact that they were rotating out for a reason.
Just say
I think that's an overcall. I think Nafany's got to go for flank in that position.
Yeah, he's trying to find a lot of room. He may have watched some demos, he may have found some tendencies. They get a little bit lazy watching that B apartment area of the map if they lose an opening kill or if a certain part of the map gets taken over territory-wise. But here, it's just really disjointed. They're not on the same page. They feel like one guy's trying to do his own thing, trying to be a one-man army, and the rest of them are over on the other side waiting for a call. No one's showing any initiative. They're giving away kills. They're missing easy smokes. Gambit youngsters need to get into this. So looks like the coach will be having a chat to them now. Tactical timeout, maybe amping them up. This will be their second already, and we're only... This will be round number 9 that we're going into. So talking through their options here. But once again, if you use pace, the reason I think pace is a good idea is because it shakes away the nerves. When you're doing things that are a bit more structured, a bit more fundamental, that's fine. But if people aren't hitting their shots, you can run strats every day of the week. Get them warm, get in their face. Maybe that way you can find a gap instead of trying to lurk and play these crazy percentages that we haven't been seeing go in the way of Gambit youngsters.
Yeah, again, to remind you, so far the pistol and the conversion, the only 2 rounds that have been picked up by them. They were the ones through the upper bracket, mind you.
Indeed.
So again, that smoke thrown by Inters. Does it make it this time? It does. You can see the trail on the left, so Crucial's time in which he can fire will be limited. He knows that. He rotates off. Super is going to take advantage because the catwalk smoke as well. They thought they could finally get quick access, and NK is perfectly positioned to deny that. We're seeing more and more players, perhaps Able J in Furia has influenced them. Try and rush that catwalk position on the T side. I've seen him inside of the B spawn within something like 11 seconds, but this time shut down. Ensuing trades in middle, though, are still evident to watch, and we've got a man advantage on the retake. 3 M4s versus an AWP and an AK, and all 3 have kits. Missed shot from the AWP, and Shiro leaves Inters to battle alone. Unfortunately for him, Firebox doesn't leave many options. The Molotov's deep. That gives him a chance to peek, and he nearly got 2 for it.
His toes were just getting tickled by the flames just there, so eventually he was going to have to swing out wide. It was a right eye peek, but the 2v1 scenario makes that very...
You love this whole right eye conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy. The camera is mounted on the right side of the model's head.
To me, that doesn't make... Look, you put it anywhere. What are the constraints?
It needs to be in the center of the head, right?
Yes, it should be in the center of the head.
But because
I'm
it's on the right side...
wondering if there's some sort of physical attribute in the game which means they couldn't program it to be...
It's just when you're left eye jiggle peeking, you can't see as much as you can when you're right eye jiggle peeking. So when you swing on a right eye peek, you're going to have a little bit of an advantage on someone who is on usually static.
Yeah.
In CSGO and in Source, if you're the one moving, you always have the advantage, thus Peeker's advantage. It will be an execute. Over the top we come. They're going to have to break through. Surreal's lined up. He's still going to be out of...
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's a bold trade from Spellin to go back through, but that shouldn't have had to happen. He had to push a smoke and hope that the one was working out from Palace. In the meantime, somehow he gets Nafany as well, so he's done very well for himself. Still there, contained. Look at NK sneaking into the site. Axial, meanwhile, you're right. Gambit has spotted the fact that B's being left open, but they need to take better advantage of it. This time they might, because Inters has to contain. If he can hold his position, Bomb's gonna go B again. They're looking for rotation, but Axial on the flank. This time Bomb didn't have to necessarily go, and that was my point in the other round. Sometimes it's not saying, hey, this site's open, it's saying, hey, I can help open the other site for you with the flank, and it's about timings, of which there's plenty, and they will get their first gun round as a result.
I think, obviously, this has been a part of their game plan. They want to push for it. They want to make sure that they respect that B bomb site so they can't hedge as many bets over towards A. I get that, but you can only do that so many times. They're lucky they had the breakthrough here. If that didn't come at this point of the game, being 10 rounds in, then you start to really come into trouble. 7 rounds on the board for Ex-Epsilon already. Gambit need to really start mounting a bit of a comeback. And here, now that they've kept them honest, now that they know, hey, they know this weakness, they know this potential to flank exists, we might have to readdress our game plan. And you can see what that's done to the money. Surreal, he's only got a 5-7. Shiro's going to get boosted up for this lovely little pick. Let's see if he can grab anything crossing. Bomb always seems to be in limbo with these guys. It always seems to be back towards T-spawn, running through a flank. So they will want to sell seems to be an A fake here, but the forward positions on the balcony and towards the front of site are going to be the early warning signs that this isn't an A hit.
It's a full set. It's a great execution piece, but you've got to have men on the ground to take advantage of it, and they're a little late doing so. You spotted it as well toward middle. Crucial already getting one. Crucial will spotted the gun barrel. Oh, that's a good reaction shot considering he looked away from the gun barrel, and Shiro nearly snuck into the site, all onto Inters. Now formerly, and it seems ages and ages hence at this point, we would have talked about reset, thankfully, in the new economy. It won't be the end of the world.
Do you mean
or end
thankfully?
Of the line. Sorry?
Do you mean thankfully?
Yeah, okay. From
Thankfully, in
Gambit's,
the context of this situation.
yes, there we go. You don't get a reset. You just go down one. So
Everybody wins.
exactly.
Participation medals for everyone.
The crowd loves that.
Yeah.
Chad.
Everybody here's a winner.
Except for you.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's fine. We're in this together.
Well, Inters would have to do something absolutely miraculous here. He is going for it. He's going to see if he can make a play. 19, 18, 17, every second ticking past. He hasn't found a kill. He's going to get taken down by NK, who just continues to stand and wait. They're not doing anything tricky. They're just standing. You want to take a duel? You want to go slow? You want to try and take these 1v1s? Yeah. Ex-Epsilon are happy for that. Let's do it. Let's fight. The team that we thought would have more strategy, that we thought would come in here a little bit more of a structured game plan, they're missing shots. They're not looking crisp. They're not looking clean. And the age definitely has something to do with that. The Gambit youngsters are all very, very young. We're talking 17, 18.
Which is, it's excellent that they've got a platform like this from Gambit to work with, because we've seen so much young talent break into the scene, and the more support they can get, the more likely we're to see more of that. And I think that we're really taking the game to new skills as a result. Super's going, oh, for the same play. He was hurt, he was spotted and found, and as a result, Nafany has to try and compensate for lost territory. He's found the second as well. NK down, that gives the middle. They can execute. Surreal's aware of it. He wants to back away. He has to back away. And even that's not enough. Nade kill, but Victor alone on Catwalk gets the first one almost for free. Still a 1-on-2, but quite removed from the situation, and the bomb is down. He has to get closer. He'll switch to the AK to allow him a better chance on the retake, and a flash deep, but making a ton of noise, and I don't think he's aware of exactly how close his enemy is, which should peak anytime really, Axial, whenever, at your leisure.
Yeah, he was very noisy. He was giving away his position. It was quite clear with the elephant foot that he had no idea that he could be close. So playing it safe, that's the way we do want to see it. But just to talk about that game plan. So they did the mid-smokes. They made it seem like they were going for a very fast cap play or just to connect a mid-control there. These kills here from Nafany, sorry, aren't the kids as well, I guess. But they're very important because what's that allowed is the mid-rotation comes in, 3 players come out of Palace, and when you have a retake A from Surreal, his main focus is towards a ramp. It isn't towards that Palace position. It's much harder to defend. So when they're able to team out of there, he loses control. He has to play passive. And from that point, Gambit are able to get their 4th round on the board. So things are starting to look good as the money should be in turmoil right now for Ex-Epsilon. These last few rounds have hammered them down. We have Crucial on the most with 3K, NK with 1.4. So they should just sit with an eco. We're going to take stock of the scoreboard right now. Spellin, 13 kills to his name. We've got 9 for Crucial and NK, 8 for Surreal, 6 for Victor. And on the other side of things, towards the top is Axial, Inters, and Nafany, all just under 10 kills there. Not too many more for them to go.
Yeah, Spellin's been pretty swift with multi-kills, specifically in trade situations. But for the first time in this half, or at least since they've been able to purchase, they're broken back down on the Epsilon side, so they'll have to sit with a stack inside of the site. No surprise based on the amount of space we've seen given up B. That's going to be on the A side of the map.
Yeah, you'd think with all the pressure that they were seeing over there, maybe they thought we'll send a party, but when we saw an eco come out from them earlier in the piece, they did that 5-man B-Apps push, where Axial was only able to grab 2 kills with the MAC-10, but it will just be a slow, methodical B-split coming out, and Shiro has a chance here to get himself a little bit of stat padding going on. Trying to be one as the rest of them want to push into the shooting gallery. He's going to grab the second, the re-peeks galore, and well, he's making it work with the left eye peek this time, isn't he?
So far, he's going to try and hold it off for an ace. Nafany gives himself up to try and make that easier. He's actually tagged Victor, getting him very low. And unfortunately, Axial has decided he doesn't want to wait for an ace. He just wants to end the round, and that's exactly what they'll do. NK is going to make us wait a little bit longer, though, isn't he? Just hiding with the USP.
Yeah, no point giving them an extra $300 or $100 if Shiro makes the next kill.
Even an exit kill would get him a gun. Nafany's gun is on, or was on catwalk. Maybe Super grabbed it. I can't quite see, but if the bomb was able to, good point, it is just a Mech 10. But even still, if the bomb was able to push that toward him, maybe it's one for his taking.
He has been using that vent position. He does want to go for it here, but he should get taken down. And yeah, there won't be enough damage from the bomb to blow up Supra. So clean round, all things considered. And now we have 5 on the board for Gambit youngsters. Then continue to build, continue to mount. And you can see what's going to happen for Ex-Epsilon in this round. With the limited money they had on the board, Victor's had to invest into a MP9. NK going with a FAMAS, and the buy, it's completely tipped in the favor of Gambit youngsters here with 4 AKs to their name, the AWP, all the utility. We don't even have a defuse kit over there on the side of Ex-Epsilon, so if the bomb goes down, might get a little bit trickier.
Spelling again to hold connector. Extinguish the flames with the smoke. Nafany, look at this. Apartment's pushed. He's that far in. Gets away with one. That was a pretty chaotic spray considering he may have had a better chance of lining up the first shot, but still, they have the B site and NK. Rather than trying to retreat back toward it and hold from catwalk, will join his teammates to take away the map, and they might take away the bomb. Not quite there in time. Shiro's got the first. And that makes things a little more awkward for Ex-Epsilon. Oh dear. If they had been able to catch the bomb or even one kill, they could have contained the B site before the plant, but now it's almost a save. It has to be one early as well if they're going to call it, because they have an AWP still. NK already limited, down on 17 HP. I think they just back off to the A site at this point.
Yeah, it's a good call from these guys coming out late. If you can get 9-6 half, 8-7, it's all par for the course on a map like Mirage. That's what we're coming to expect. You do have a little bit of buffer if you're Gambit and you want to chase. You can send a few of these AKs out, whoever of the excess cash. Nafany and Supra can get away with it. Inter's only with 1K, should be a little bit more careful. But if they want to apply pressure, they can. It doesn't appear that they're going to be too cutthroat about it, as we can see on the minimap. Look towards your top left. The little yellow icons, not too close to the little blue icons.
One's getting a little bit closer now, though, Chad.
It's like Pac-Man.
Yeah, I was never good at that video game.
Oh, that's really going to hurt right there.
That's
crucial, knowing that the time was about to expire. Probably didn't necessarily need to be picking that, but these are these tiny details. And that was huge from Nafany to even be able to pivot that corner and find that kill. They won't be able to scavenge the AWP in time, which means that now Crucial will find himself on an MP9 with 2 M4s, 2 FAMI, or are we doing FAMASes?
I like FEMI. That's Familia.
Yeah.
FEMI, yeah, I like it. I'm down with that.
So another compromise buy here going into the last round of the first half. Remember, this is a best of 1. They are playing for $30,000. Second place will be getting 15 as we execute on towards that A-bomb site. Surreal up and over the smoke. And they expect it.
I think his own gun model blocked his vision there, because the edge of the smoke was certainly not quite that far to the right, but he didn't see the player down below him, and as a result, taken down. Unfortunately, Victor and NK. I mean, you pointed this out, Chad. You said speed was probably going to be the friend of Gambit, and they've sped things up, and look at the results. We went from 8-2 to now potentially 8-7 to end the half, the final of the half, and NK means he's got to go for it. No kits. No bomb plant yet, mind you, but that's going to be denied. Shiro's got the trade. All fine and dandy. 8-7. Good turnaround. Good half in the end.
Yeah, going about the objectives the other way, just making sure they get all the kills as opposed to getting that bomb down. So Gambit youngsters turning it around, giving us what is a competitive-looking first half. And when they move on to that CT side, now I start to put more and more in their favor. Waters will be drunk, but I believe we have an ad break to go to, Matthew.
I like those. Let's do that.
We'll be back in 2 minutes. Stick with us.
Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night and never day. Even when I wash the floor, the dust still comes. Keep on hunting for the bread. No matter how lost, need no light, no spark. I'm in line mode. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm, far from.
ESL 1 New York reaches its final day, and we start things off with the MSI Gaming Arena, which Gambit youngsters are playing in, but their opposition, Ex-Epsilon, had slightly better half. It looked like it was going to be a walk at one point, 8-2, but they clawed it back to just one round the difference as we get ready to start off the second and final half for this competition.
Yeah, very slow start to things from Gambit youngsters. They picked up the pace. They were able to get involved, exploiting over towards that B bomb site with some rotations. And look, we got a competitive game now. So this is a best of one. This is where money is won or lost right here, and we'll have a champion of the MSI Gaming Arena. Now it's going to be an AXQ coming in. We have two smokes, one on Surreal, one on Spellin. Seeing them come over the walls right now, and flashes will come out. So this is a classic, the Glocks to come out of apps momentarily.
Supra, same positions as last time. Similarly, in fact, from Gambit to play the retake on the A site. Getting forced off the stairs early, though, and Supra's got to go all the way back inside CT spawn, waiting to flash back in. But no one really in position yet to capitalize on that. They could go for a 3-1 split, 4 up toward the stairs. Flash isn't great. It's not far enough. Look at the stack, though. They even hit the lower player first, but the trade's going back and forth. Sufficient so far for Ex-Epsilon. A reload will cost Victor his life, and now we find ourselves in a 2-on-2. Shiro has picked up the kit as well. So, Chance can get near to the bomb. Spellin hit the shot from the cave. It looked like it was the peak from Surreal, who will now be hunted down by Shiro, who can't find it. And as a result, the second pistol goes the way of the T's.
That rally of flashes towards CT spawn, obviously the CTs know the T's are flashing, right? So they say anti-flash. They have a flash of their own. Then the second flash comes into the CTs, and everyone's getting blind. Everyone's getting stuck. And the trades come out, and we find ourselves in what is a very difficult 2-on-2 situation. There's that shot from Spellin and Surreal to finish things off. The men with utility opening up the bomb site. Other ones closing down the round. And we're going to be getting this one back underway. Gambit youngsters will be having a full eco. Nothing invested whatsoever. Over towards Connect will be 4 members of the team. And then Shiro will be coming from that catwalk position.
Crucial. Couple of quick taps toward the top side of mid, but finally getting Nafany down. They've got to be somewhat careful. Low HP. If Crucial was caught by Supra, gun would have been available for them. Instead, it's just Shiro remaining, and Shiro to 0 very quickly because it's now 10 for Epsilon.
Yeah, you're right there. They could have had a second kill, maybe drop that AK. Caused a little bit of financial woes. But a quick round, that's the way we like it here. And we're going to get the gun rounds underway. Shiro will get the AWP in hand. He's gone Glass Cannon. And those for you who are newer to Counter-Strike, Glass Cannon is the big green, the AWP, the sniper rifle without any form of armor behind it. So it's a risky maneuver, but on the CT side, hopefully you can pick and weave around a little bit more. This was the BXQ right here that I thought that we might have seen coming up from Gambit youngsters early with the MAC-10s. Looks like Ex-Epsilon are going to be the guys to throw it out. Axiel is going to have a lot of pressure applied right here. He has a FAMAS, a Molotov to delay, and a smoke to shroud his position. There goes the Molotov. He has to come up huge.
Quick check. Victor's got one. He can run it down. He knows there's a second pre-firing. That's going to push Axiel toward the bench where 2 teammates were, but yet they could not capitalize. Finally, they'll trade him down in the end, but at cost of 1 in doing so. Still the man advantage for Epsilon. Good Molotov on the door. Nafany can peek behind it, but he cannot go forward. That allows the bomb to be planted in the garden. Supra, next in line. Deep smoke covers
no kit here, man.
The van, and you're absolutely right. No kit. They've got to hurry about their business. Cyril being wide here at this point as well means that if Cyril can actually find the first NK and get the kill, they do exactly that, and then he's even able to add one more.
Yeah, so Shiro trying to save right here. We can see that the chase is on. They have MAC-10s. They're not really worried about losing that, and if they can take this away, then that's a bunch more rounds in the bag for Ex-Epsilon. They're going to have to get a move on here. The smoke's been dropped. Shiro running for his life, quite literally. Is going to make it around the bend, but smell it, it's going to be close. Is he going to make it? The kill will come in. Shiro shall survive. And that needs to be the spearhead right now of the defense. If they want to have any option of winning this round, they need to set him up. They need to give him an opportunity to find an opening kill, or he needs to go find some himself, because I really like that. I just want to talk about that strat a bit more. If the CTs lose pistol, they take an eco, full eco on the second, that's fine. Going into the third round, you're never going to have full utility. You're not going to have your M4, you're not going to have your armor, the defuse kit, and all of the flashes and smokes. If you do a BX like that with the MAC-10s, they can get on out. You saw where the opening kill came from. They're very swift, they're very mobile, they don't need to stop, and they even have jumping accuracy. So if you make that play towards the B bomb site, sure, it's predictable, but 3 MAC-10s up, that's the type of bonus round we want to be seeing.
Well, it doesn't get used as frequently anymore because now you have the $1,900 start. You've got a different bonus. So a lot of the times, the bonus round I think was more powerful when teams were still more limited in their buy.
Yes.
Now that they're able to bring out rifles sooner, it's almost more compromising, and they're going to have more money on the other side of it, even if you break them. So it doesn't have the same reward, but it is still nice to see teams utilizing it to play the long game.
There are some teams which they take that second round as a force buy with that $1,900 loss.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
We've seen the SG drops.
We expected to see more of that. We expected to see full saves on pistols to try and get ops out super early, and we didn't actually get a lot of that, but
Plenty of time. Still plenty of time. Maybe someone like Hunden will make it work.
Yes, God Hunden. Victory in V4. Tricked beating NIP. MIBR. Shiro beating Crucial with the shots and catching off Cyril inside of the site. So a decent start for the CTs. Good hold. He can try and actually win out this round for Gambit. He's going to do his part by taking down Spellin, and Shiro's coming on now, finally. With a few quick kills, that Inters will close. Yeah, NIP, MIBR, and Mouse Sports all at that event, and Trick came out the victor.
Yeah, who would have thought? Definitely not me, but I didn't think Shiro playing passively over towards the B apartments was going to be the key, but offered up 1v1s. He makes the AWP work, and that essentially is an eco victory. There was a couple of upgraded pistols. Really, when you look at the way the money was sitting, Ex-Epsilon made a bit of a boo-boo there.
We've all done it once or twice, but that's exactly why you praised Shiro at the start of this, and you can understand once he gets the op moving, seems to be quite good at sort of, I guess similar to Fallen. He's good at quick angles. He's not going to be super aggressive. He doesn't look like someone who's going to take the peek, but as you can see there, he was able to change his aim very quickly, knew exactly the timings of the peek. Fallen, the reason I say that, overpass, A sites. He was very good at doing that for the Park side. In fact, we're seeing Nitro get really good at that role as well. And again, those are two operas that call me, say what you want. I don't think Fallen was the best aggressive opera. I think guys like Guardian and Kenny were better at that type of style. So it all has merit. It's just about finding form.
Form right now is what Gambit youngsters need to continue, because their money, even with that eco win, is still on a knife's edge, right? The CT side, everything is a little bit more expensive.
Some awkward smokes again. Ooh, that's good timing. Smokes himself off, gets away from the Molotov.
No damage taken at all, and he'll be able to put a Molotov down of his own to slow the mid aggression.
Which is interesting, but it gives him a chance to rotate out more, I guess, swiftly and safely, but also gets a player toward connector where Nafany will now be poised with a rifle. So it is a bit of time, 7 seconds to be exact, in which they can reposition and not get caught out for it.
The biggest gap right now is over towards A, but as we can see, there isn't any movement on that side of the map. A lot of mid-focus from both teams here. Inters is about to have company.
Oof. Unwanted guests. Surreal just takes him down immediately with the Krieg up close. Still seeing a lot of the Krieg within the meta. Shiro will, again, inside of the B site, have a pole in which he can dance around. This gives him, again, the chance to peek, use those quick timings. Crucial's going to sneak in behind him, though, but an AWP on the floor up close. Shiro doesn't know that he's there yet, but that's exactly the peaks I was talking about. Again, never going to be the one to be overly aggressive, but you put him in a site, and he's going to dance all day.
Fantastic work there just to delay and stay alive. You could see he knew a player was over towards Catwalk, wanted to peek, but if he just, every second, he continued to live, gave a chance for the rotation to come in, and then he finds the kills anyway. So he did 2 good things in that round. Actually, we'll make it 3.
Just give him the 3rd for the sake of it.
Yeah, he showed
Being
up.
a nice guy today, Chad. I like it.
I've come in with more of a chipper attitude today.
But
so.
you can see what I mean, because again, he's not, I haven't seen a lot of him, but comparing it to Fallen, you're not going to see Fallen go for the JW-esque drop down mid or try and take the aggression to the tees, but as soon as they come to him, look how fast he is at dancing around, knowing the positions, playing off sound cues, and he's dead accurate when he does it.
Yeah, I think one of the things with Fallen's AWPing that was always amazing was on that T side, on the CT side, retaking bomb sites with it, being flashed in from teammates and making those plays work.
There was a really good video done by Drop the Bomb, not that I'm self-plugging, but Tom Newman actually did this, and we were focusing on the Brazilians at the time and SK and doing some of their content, and they explained a retake on Mirage, and the way that Fallen explained it was so much more in depth than even like I considered. Like the flash timings, the fake of a back, like a jiggle peek, like the way they baited, I think it was Fnatic at the time, into everything they wanted them to do was insane.
This game is all about the micro decisions, and especially when you play against certain teams all the time, it's a mind game more than necessarily just putting the bullets in the head with the pixels. This should just be a bit of a clean eco sweep. Crucial with the Deagle, 7 points of health. I assume he will go down quite quickly, even though 1 bullet to the torso should take down Seal. The smoke will delay, and he's going to find himself very lucky to find another kill. So now, once again, after... Well, it wasn't a slow start because Gambit did win pistol in the first half.
Yeah.
But then they went down 7-2. Then they got back into the game, were able to have
That's
a very
right, I said
competitive
8-2,
half.
it was 7-2, yeah, you're right.
And then the way that we've unfolded here, sure they lost pistol, but as soon as they've gotten that AWP up, they've been able to make it work. So Shiro has been a huge proponent in this second half right now for Gambit youngsters. So they get 1 round closer to tying things up for Legs 11.
And if they do, I mean, Shiro deserves a lot of credit. 19 kills, he now leads the way. You go back to where we were in the first half, we were looking at scores. Spellin had 13 and was at the top of the board. He now only has 15, so he's struggling significantly to get things rolling on the T side. Crucial. Rolling through the smoke, but not finding the shot, unfortunately. That gives away the ops position toward Catwalk as well, and he backs away, perhaps rightly so.
Yeah, a little bit worried about a gap in the left-hand side of that smoke. It's going to force him to consider his options here. Shiro in actually quite a unique position with the AWP. As a teammate's jump spotting from Van, so the idea... Oh, okay, Axel actually wants to go aggressive. So this here is going to give them some information. Flash is going to come in. He's not going to get the kill. Good stuff from NK. The trade will come out.
Problem with that flash is it went, too deep into the corner, and also he took 2 steps before it landed, so he knew that there was going to be a peek during blind, so he already had the pre-aim. Yeah. If he had waited even for the steps, he might have been able to bait him out of the shot. Because again, not only does it blind you, but it'll ring your ears a little bit. Quite a lot, actually, if it's right beside you.
And with how loud these players have the volume most of the time, probably a lot. So it will be an A hit here. 45 seconds left on the clock. Into Molotov is going to do a lot. That's going to either force Spellin forward or back, and the decision is flight as opposed to fight. And now, with Nafany able to flank through middle, this A attack, it could fall apart very quickly. That's a huge kill. Now they just need to draw their attention towards A. Supra with 2 hits is going to finish off Victor, and there's the round for Gambit youngsters, tying things up 11-11. These 2 teams have already played each other in this tournament, with Gambit youngsters coming out on top. So to see them going toe-to-toe again in a close fashion, it was 16-11 the first time round, is no real surprise.
Yeah, great turnaround for Gambit again.
This is going to be a fast A piece, man. I feel it in my waters.
In your waters?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to judge you if you're wrong.
Here we go.
All right, fine. All right.
They haven't tried an A hit off the bat.
Done this a few times, have you?
Yeah. Well, this is where my brain would go, and if I was the in-game leader on the other side, I would have either called a retake or I would have stacked players closer on the site to lock this down.
Supra. Caught by a very distant flash, so vision restored before the execution, but as you...
It's an old execute.
It is, yeah, it's through the middle. I love it. It's the fast plant, mid-site smokes, and then you rush toward jungle, which is exactly what Victor does. Spellin's fully covered off from any angle because of the position of the smoke between the boxes. I love that smoke. I wish it was used more, personally speaking, and Crucial takes down Inters to get a gun, now giving him control of connector and a Krieg at that, so he can control the bomb. Doesn't have direct line of sight, has to work into the stairwell slightly, but you can see how much position they have. This is solid from Ex-Epsilon.
There is 1 smoke in play. They can put that down, and that is going to cause a lot of ruckus right now.
Ooh, they need a body block, though, and Supra's busy, which means Surreal's gonna get him. Victor finds the diffuser. AWP for Shiro, 2 already, but you're right, the time is gone, and the round is 2. It's going to be Epsilon narrowly keeping the margin in their favor by 1.
When that execute was made, those kids over there on that side of the stage map were probably 12. No joke.
I see what you're saying.
I'm not even...
How old were you then? Still 29, 28?
I think that one there we called Very Games. That's how long ago that one was, right? There's the other one with the smoke wall, which is, it leaves a gap behind the firebox and the benches. That one we called TSM.
It's always interesting to me, and doing interviews has kind of been fun because I get to hear this from the players. And I talked to Nitro, and they've obviously been quite vocal, Liquid, about changing strategy because they think they're being countered. And I said, how hard is that to reinvent yourselves and recreate strategy? He said, sometimes it's about going back to old ones. Because the meta shifts, and as soon as you can find the way to exploit, teams adapt, and then you go back to what they formerly were doing, you can catch them off, which is, okay, this is an extreme case of that, going way back with this one. But it was interesting that Nitro said that. He said, yeah, we can just go back to some of the old ones we haven't run in a while.
Yeah, but it's always good to keep them in the back pocket, right? I think especially with a lot of these maps and how Counter-Strike is constantly changing and people are always watching demos and that kind of stuff, if you're able to, flip back 3 to 4 months, even in the strat book, and bring out just a different timing or a different pacing of the way you did things, that's what you need to be looking and seeing, and hopefully they're able to continue to adapt and push forward. We do get to see Liquid again in a couple days' time. Unfortunate exit for them here early. It will be another A hit right now. There's no mid control, there's nobody lurking over towards B, so this looks like it's going to be an absolute all-in.
Nafany a little more forward this time, and Supra to complement that, being in the shadow. Perhaps I should call him BMW, since that's what the new Supra is. Shiro, ooh, leg shot. Good timing to fire into it. It's going to make things easier for the M4s that are up close, although Supra may not even have a chance to spot anyone at this rate. Has to elevate himself onto the ladder to stay away from flames, to stay away from fire, and he's done exactly that. Nafany gets 2 as a result. Cyril able to put him down. Shiro's very hot, but not quite burning as he stays in behind the chimney. Rotation required, as we can see all 3 CT players over toward the B side of the map. Shiro, the only one up close, and he is, again, so accurate on the CT side.
Very, very patient there. This is what I like to see. He's not getting flustered. He's not taken away with the moment, but they know they need kills. Surreal here, going aggressive towards CT, going to hold them at bay while they try and plant the bomb, continuing to jostle for position. The Molotov's not going to land. That's going to give him a chance, but Inters will find the kill, and now Spellin, not a lot of HP. This one here, he's just going to want to hold on to that AK, I think.
Rotate it around. I mean, you're right, he could try and save it at this point in time. He only has 16 HP, 3-on-1, and they're already going to be on the defuse. He's considered getting himself into Palace for a late push, but yeah, I think the smoke was enough to say that's enough, I'm out.
Running through that, yeah, maybe you get lucky, maybe you get a kill, but realistically, even with that bomb plant, you want to make sure you're in a position where you have weapons on the board.
And it's not like they're pushing for over 10 point. It's still 12-12. You've got time to build your economy back up. You might as well. I know it sucks to concede around that late, but you do it before you're done.
I want to note for everybody at home, with that save of the AK, he still has 3,500 in the bank, right? Which means he can drop an AK of his own, which he's just done. So now they've been able to facilitate yet another full buy. So with the 12-12 scoreline right now, that save is actually, with that plan, a lot more instrumental than what it's seen. It's a mid-push coming in right here, and Nafany will find the kill onto Surreal. So change of pace from Gambit youngsters, taking mid into their own hands early.
Victor. He drops off the ledge from Horseshoe. People still don't use that call. It was very North American originally, but obviously if you look at the mini-map, where the bomb is, yeah, it's like a hairpin or a horseshoe. So,
yeah,
that's why.
I don't know if we use it in Australia. It's been a while since I've been back there, so didn't cotton on.
Yeah, the only reason I bring that up is because I played with friends and we always called it that, and then I cast it for the first time and everyone was like, what is that? And it was all the Europeans that didn't understand the call, so fair enough.
This is going to be another B play, and we've seen what's happened over towards that side of the map, especially with Shiro's AWP, who is still here, extremely patient now, up to 24 kills to his name. So if they want to get on site here, they don't only have to do with Nafany, they have to take him down. So allowing Shiro to thrive from this position, it's not an easy one to deal with. He'll grab the first again. Stepping up to the plate, he has a second, continuing to pick them apart one by one, and Spellin, the last man alive. You mentioned that 13 kills, 15 at this point, and still nothing. The ADR continues to plummet as round after round now are mounted by Gambit youngsters.
And that's so frustrating when things just continue to slip away from you like this. You have all the motivation, you have all the momentum, you're top fragging the entire server, and now it's like you're drowning and you're just clenching at straws. But maybe I'm wrong, maybe he's got something in this. 2 kills already. It's a 1-on-5.
He seems to be the bomb and there's no time.
You're right. It seems to be a positional issue. You're also correct about time. Even if he could have killed them all, it was not going to happen with only 5 seconds left.
I got excited there because those first 2 kills that he had gave him an avenue of attack. If he just picked up the bomb, he could have potentially even planted. They would have swarmed him with that time coming into play, but there was always a chance. Even with that wall bang, it was only a little bit off. Could have had nasty kill.
Worth noting, this is the first time that Gambit's had the lead since it was 2-0 at the very start of the game. So they've definitely clawed their way back in. I'm very impressed with Shiro as a CT-sided opper. He is an anchor on that AWP.
Still a bit of a mystery who's going to take this one right here. Utility not looking great for Ex-Epsilon at all. They need to hope they find some kills. Maybe a Gambit youngsters over-peaking, playing a little bit aggressively, or going for fights that they shouldn't. The window burst is going to come in. They've spotted it. Inters knows what's going on. Shiro makes the kill, and, well, that's that avenue of attack gone. And now all they have left is 2 smoke grenades. What are you meant to do with this in a minute 25 on the clock?
Well, got one less now. Shiro is showing off. He is just getting carried away. He loves the stage. Give it all to him. And he's done his work, and Naphany will close out on Crucial. Victor is found by Supra, and it is 14-12 in favor of Gambit.
Back-to-back, we might have 2 teams from the CIS/Russian region winning the MSI Gaming Arena.
That's a fantastic point.
It's $30,000 first prize right here.
Yeah, 50,000 overall. They take the lion's share, as you would say.
15 for second. But the silver medal's never as nice as it.
It's not. It's not. Interestingly enough, obviously we don't do medals. It's almost sometimes better to win the bronze than lose the gold. That was always one of the things that people would say. From a mental perspective.
Yeah, I can see that. And right now, it looks like they're having to concede 15 rounds here, because this is a half buy. They're going for a half buy here, knowing that they can go for a full in the following. We can see the Deagles, we can see Tech-9, CZs, a bunch of smokes, flashes, Molotov in play. The buy's not great, but this is, I think, where Ex-Epsilon will do their best work. We saw the flurry over towards that A bomb site before, where they took control close towards connected with the old execute that we were so taken aback by, rolling back the years, I think we like to call it. And now they're setting up for another special. These set pieces with the pistols, you need them. You have to be able to pull them out. They're very important, especially in a best of one.
Flames beneath the window.
This is 2-pronged, by the way, Matt. It's a B fake for utility. Now mid-smoke is going to come in from the T-spawn players, and then they're going to split A. So they're keeping everybody on notice right now for the CT side.
And look at the CT side as well. You've got 3 over toward B. The one good thing is they've got a push from Inters toward Catwalk. That will potentially spot toward Connector. But they've got room in A, and especially if Super gets caught out, dinked, 16 HP, and he's got to be aware they're inside of the window. Absolutely dead. Victor's going to find him. Sight is open, but oh, look who's Johnny on the spot. Don't know that he'll be given the chance for shots this time, and he's also aware he can't necessarily go for them. His teammates are not close enough. He won't have any support utility, and if he goes down, trade potential's not quite there. So makes the more calculated decision to back away. Epsilon with a bomb plant in what would be a very pivotal round. This as well, and Eco gives them a fantastic chance to get back into it economically.
And avoid 15.
Exactly. Keeps Gambit off of overtime point, or does it, because Shiro, his waiting has paid off. And what a retake. Zero goes down as well inside of Palace. And it is just like that, going to be map and championship point.
Very good patience there, knowing they're up close, knowing they can wait out those smokes. The bomb had just gone down. The time was on their side, as well as the utility, the weaponry. Just patient, waiting for the T's to step on out. They have to take a risk. They had to take a mistake, and they are punished for it. So now 1 round away here from lifting the trophy. Gambit youngsters, not a lot of LAN experience for these guys at all. So to see them coming out here today, putting up some good form, positive signs. Shiro now in the spotlight more than ever, having some hugely influential rounds. But now as we tick forward into round number 28, what's the play, what's the call? Success hasn't been found over towards this B bomb site, and once again they want to put the majority of their forces over towards B, and look who's hunting once again.
He's going to be a little more aggressive this time, but still in a smart position. It's not a position that he has to be combative. He can get one shot and fall back. He's not overextending, shall we say.
They have all the info here. I'm surprised they haven't gone for a 4-man A-lane. He had vision all the way down B apps. They haven't had any pressure applied to them on middle. They have a minute left on the clock now. Now that that smoke's gone down, he's just bought them even more time towards this bomb site. And they know. We've got 2 players over towards Ticket. The execute is being lined up. I don't think Crucial's able to line his smoke up correctly here, but here it comes. Over the top. We know the hit's in. Axial pushes forward. Supra with a secondary AWP over towards CT spawn. And they've gone for a similar execute to what we saw come out with the pistols. This time around against the rifles, it's going to be a lot more difficult to deal with. 45 seconds left on the clock, and this has to be the final push from Ex-Epsilon. Molotovs come out, NK finds the opening, trades are going down, but Supra towards CT, still alive.
Still alive, still kicking. Kicking and screaming as he was trying to fire back inside of the smoke with the 8 WP. Surreal is still above in Palace. We saw him be the last alive in the last round. This time, bomb planted again, and they've got a little more to work with. Weapons, most notably. And the bomb will tick, gun barrel spotted. Crucial knows he's got a lineup. That's an easy shot at the end of the day. Axial, good to get back through Shadow, and I like this flash because it goes high, but Crucial knew the lineup, and he fires back in. Shiro's got it back down, tries to tap the bomb. Victor's got a peek, and this shot for the win, and Shiro's done it, but not time, not time. It's not going to be the win. I hold my breath.
Not just yet. It was awfully close. The problem there was the players who were rotating through from window and mid. That was the first fights being taken. There was 2 CTs just left, sitting behind ticket booth, one pushing the bomb site behind that smoke wall. You can sit there all you like. We'll plant the bomb, we'll take these fights, we'll make sure that there's no way that you can get back into this round. They make a good chance of it, they had a good shot of it, but without any smokes to put on that bomb, it was a very, very difficult round. Crucial as well, we saw him throwing that late smoke from the B apartments, then flanking through the B bomb site. Look, it's a risk, you're not with your team, you're hoping that they can get into the site, get the bomb down and give you a chance to even play that position. Look at the pace on this one.
So we go again, and you're right, we are going very quickly again. Shiro and Supra this time shut it down. The man advantage goes early toward the CTs. And in fact, add to that, it's all on Victor, who may not find victory. In fact, defeat, says Supra will lift Gambit to the championship, the MSI Gaming Arena. And as you say, the $30,000 that goes with it, the young team, all teenagers for the most part. And I have to say, you spotted it, Shiro is excellent.
Looking good, looking hot to trot. And Nappany there, he was happy with that win. You saw him jump out of his chair. The huddle of the boys, the huddle of the team, maybe one of many more because they're growing, they're learning, and they're experiencing Counter-Strike together.
And it's great to see, for Gambit especially, a team that won a major. They picked up an academy team, and now it's pretty much all they've got to go by because their main team has dissolved. But maybe there's something in it for them yet. And credit to Ex-Epsilon as well, looking for an organization. They've certainly put a best foot forward. But even still, a team that's no stranger to success, certainly not from an organizational perspective. Gambit youngsters have taken the trophy, the MSI Gaming Arena champions, and perhaps rightly so, all the way through the upper bracket. We're going for a wander across the stage, but they've got it. They are the champions of New York.
MSI Gaming Arena here, giving a chance to some of these younger teams to come on out here, get a bit of experience on the stage, have a chance to compete. Look, it's a best-of-1 format. It's as cutthroat as you get.
Absolutely.
Out here, they've looked prepared, and they've taken home the victory. So Gambit youngsters, I believe that they were one of the lower seeds in this tournament.
Well, and you got to give them credit not only for taking the victory, but the means they did it. Sure, they came through as a lower seed through the upper bracket. Great performances all the way in, but then you find yourself down 7-2 and getting overrun. It was the pistol and the converted round. You had no gun rounds, 9 rounds into the game, and they claw back to an 8-7 half. You mentioned it as well, maybe going faster. Maybe that would do it. Well, they certainly sped up the pace. That worked in the first half, and then the second half, Shiro just was putting on a clinic.
He looked phenomenal, but someone else who's a very phenomenal looker is OJ, and let's throw it over to him.
Thank you much, Chad, and with Vladislav here. Congratulations first off. Talk me through that win, because it was a little tight towards the end.
To be honest, when we was training to this tournament, we was a little bit focused on other things which we need to fix. So I don't expect we played well like we do.
Hey, well, listen, you played well enough to win this MSI Gaming Arena tournament. What is it like playing on the big stage? It's the first time for you. Big old arena, lots of people are in here. What was it like?
When we played like in game, I heard someone just say "Gambit youngster, let's go" or something. It's really proud. I'm really proud about it because we make a really good way, I guess.
Listen, it's fabulous to chat to you. A great winner to you and the team. Put your hands together, everyone here in New York, in the Barclays Center, for the Gambit youngsters.
And there's no MVP necessarily for this event, but I think if I had to give one just for that final alone, I would go with Shiro. And we've kind of alluded to that a few times. There's some experience there, though. Shiro is one player, but you've got Victor on the other side, you've got Surreal on the other side, and yet these young stars are the ones that came out on top.
Yeah, look, these guys have been basically just playing a lot online Counter-Strike, and they've been doing it the right way. The same way we spoke about things with Ents, right? You know, they did the fundamentals. These guys are much younger. They don't have an Alu in the team to be their experienced member. So going forward, Gambit youngsters, they're a prospect for the future. We're not talking, you know, the end of this year. We're probably talking maybe the end of next. But there is that potential there. If they stay together, that's what we love to see in Counter-Strike.
All right. Well, there's more orders of business because I'm going to leave you, Chad. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
We've got some other stuff to do. Ollie, if you just want to mic me real quick, thank you very much. Oh, and we're going to do... which one's live?
I can talk for you, Matt.
There you go. I'll do this one. I'll just keep going. Yeah, there we go. So we've got more MSI prizes to do. It's the Mystery Box Challenge. That's a bit of a mystery. You guys are my two guests. I haven't had a chance to meet you yet, so what's your name?
Lucas.
Lucas?
Kylie.
Kylie? All right, well, Lucas, you're second. It's ladies first. You guys know the rules. Mystery Box, 3 questions each of you. Winner takes whatever's in the box. And it's a mystery what's in the box. But if there's a tie break, we get to come up with a tie-breaking situation, which will probably just be her because she's a lady. I'm sorry you lose on that. But here we go. We'll start it off. Question number 1. Now, most are related to New York, so if you've been here in the past, Kylie, you've got a chance. What was the 5-core roster of FaZe Clan when they won ESL 1 New York in 2017? Was it A, and the crowd can help you out, was it A, Rain, Kerrigan, Exist, Guardian, and Olaf? Was it B, Rain, Kerrigan, Nico, Guardian, and Olaf? Or was it C, Rain, Nico, Adren, Kerrigan, and Olaf? They are on the screen down there if it helps you read through, because that's a lot of names. Which one are you going with? Ooh, crowd?
I guess B.
B? We're going B?
Yeah, sure.
All right, well, the crowd has helped you out. B is absolutely correct. She's got one already. You feeling pressure?
Nah, they're fun.
Here for fun? All right, you are here for fun. I'm loving the get-up. I might have to wear that later when I do some crowd work. Question number 2, Kylie. There is only one player who has won ESL 1 New York twice. Who is it? Is it A, Olaf, B, Guardian, C, Simple, and I'm going to throw in D even though it's not right because Snacks was in 2 finals, but it's not him. So which one of those 3 is it?
Guardian. B, yeah.
B? Kylie says B. B is right. Yeah, that guy loves you, I think, by the way. So he's helping you out. Not bad, not bad. Question number 3, to go 3 for 3. Only one team has reached the grand finals of ESL 1 New York events twice. Who are they? Was it A, Astralis? Was it B, Team Liquid? Or was it C, FaZe Clan?
B.
What is with all the Bs? Yes, it is Team Liquid, who, by the way, are not in the final today. So you're repping the Astralis, I see. You think they're going to take this?
Yeah.
Not even going to go for EG? Like, not going to help the USA at all?
No.
All right, well, that's savage. That is savage. That guy that helped you totally was like, wow, why'd I do that? She's, like, against us. So, sorry, Kylie, I've got to go over here. What was your name again?
Lucas.
All right, Lucas, with the amazing getup. You know the rules? You know how it works? They love you now. They might be against her, so you might still have the crowd helping you. All right, you ready? Who was the MVP of ESL 1 New York 2018? I'm not going to give you the second part of the question, but it's down there because it kind of helps you a little bit. Was it A, Simple, B, Rops, or C, Twists?
C.
C, Twist, absolutely right. It was only the second time in history that a losing player actually picked up the MVP. Of course, he was Canadian. I'm just going to throw that in there. I don't know why. FaZe Clan, who won ESL 1 New York 2017. What was the best-of-5 scoreline for FaZe Clan's victory over Liquid? And who was the MVP? Was it A, a demoralizing 3-0 with Nico as the MVP? Was it B, FaZe with Guardian as the MVP with a score of 3-2? Or was it C, 3-1 for FaZe with Rain as the MVP? If you know the score, because the scores are obviously different, you can rule out the MVP part because that'll give you the answer for you.
I'm gonna go with A.
Go with A, 3-0?
Yep.
Poor Liquid got absolutely destroyed in that game. It was A, and it was Nico as the MVP. It's definitely a long time ago because FaZe don't do that anymore. Come on, Nico, you got to get it back together. I think Brocky's going to out-frag you this year. All right, your third question, and if he gets this, we go into the tie-break scenario. Question number 3. Which matchmaking rank is below Distinguished Master Guardian? I know you're only a silver, so it's still way up for you.
Wait, I'm not ranked yet?
You're not ranked?
I'm not ranked yet.
All right, well, if you were to be ranked, you would be silver. So, which is below Distinguished Master Guardian, but still above Master Guardian 2? Is it A, Master Guardian Elite? Was it B, Legendary Eagle? Or was it C, Master Guardian?
I think it's gonna be A.
Number A? Number A, letter A? Number A, all right. You sure?
I'm sure, yeah.
All right, we've got a rare scenario where everyone's got them right, so those cards don't matter. We're 3-3. She wins, I'm sorry.
Huh?
You win, Kylie, because female, so you absolutely get the MSI box.
Cool.
But I have to say, do you think Astralis is still going to win for the day?
Sure.
You think Astralis is going to beat EG?
Maybe.
I mean, she's got the jersey on, but you might still get the hearts of everyone with EG winning on the stage.
I'm here for the chickens, man.
I like it. Did you name your chicken yet?
His name's Robert.
All right, Robert. Do you, Lucas and Robert, do you want to do the honors of opening the box and showing Kylie what she's won? You get this, whatever's in there. Go ahead, Lucas. The MSI mystery box. You just pull the top right open for us. Ooh, what do we got? That's all yours. All yours. New motherboard for you. Do you want to hold it up to the camera so they can see it? How do you feel about that?
That's really cool.
Awesome. Well, good job, guys. We're both winners here, Lucas. I'm going to give you a hug. That's your prize. It was a good contest. And with that, we're going to get ready for our grand final. And our grand final is, as you know, coming up after the Cash show match. So don't let me bait you into that. Cash is next. We get the new reveal. And with that, we'll see you in a minute.
I'm very excited about the new Cash. Cash was one of my favorite maps before it got taken out, so I'm excited to see what the show match will demonstrate.
I'm very excited about the new Cash. I'm not in the show match for this event, so I'll be watching.
I play the show match with 4 American. Its communication is very good.
It's going to be interesting to see how it looks like and what kind of things that's been implemented to it, but also what kind of changes that's been made.
I'm excited to see the community interact with all of the changes because I think they all affect each other. You know, it's like a ripple effect. One thing that changes on the A-bomb site has a cascading effect all the way to how your B players end up playing. So the thing I'm most interested in is seeing how everything pans out and how it affects teams in a 5v5 atmosphere.
Well, I really respect Sal as a former professional player of Counter-Strike for so many years. He knows Counter-Strike gameplay. Well, when I was very first originally remaking this map with Sal back in 2013, 2012, the map was like warehouses. And I was thinking to myself, you know, what are we going to do with this? Because obviously everybody loved the gameplay, but the visuals really needed something. And warehouses tend to be a challenge, you know, visually. So creating textures is really interesting. It's probably one of the biggest challenges in making a modern Counter-Strike level because things have got to look clean, they've got to look sharp, and they've got to pop. But you also have a lot of technical considerations in terms of performance, optimization. So what I do is I think about color in an area. What basic primary color do I want to hit? What basic moves do I want people to feel? How's it going to interact with the models? How's it going to interact with the story and the design of an area? So a lot of thought goes into it. Even a simple floor or wall has got way too much thought put into it.
If I'm being honest, I'd like to just keep it the same, so I'm kind of nervous for the changes because I liked it. I felt it was balanced in a good sense for both CT and T. So whatever changes are going to be made, I'm just hopeful that it kind of stays balanced and how it was before.
In Heaven, like when you go up the ramp Heaven in B, like it's kind of hard to peek out Heaven, it's a little small, so hopefully he can expand it. I'm also just a huge fan of like, there's like the T mid warehouse, and in there, I usually ask for like the boost onto the red crate, and I'm hoping that he just puts like a little thing there so I can just jump up myself. I don't have to ask my teammates.
There's not any one specific area that I feel is extremely problematic, but there were opportunities, as I mentioned earlier. putting a little bit more emphasis on utility and giving CTs a few more options, especially in mid, is one of the areas where we've received the most feedback in terms of players maybe finding it a little bit difficult to defend versus a well-drilled, well-coordinated T execute.
It's never really been a map that we've played too much in Astralis or in the previous teams I've been in, and there's no like specific reasons to why. I just don't think it fits us as a player and well, me as a player and also as a team. But with some new changes and some new like fresh mindset going into it, like you did with Vertigo, yeah, why not? I mean, like if it goes into the competitive map pool, it's definitely going to be a map we're going to look into.
I think one of the most important sentiments that I've seen online, and I also feel personally, is we kind of retain the initial magic that Cash had to it, and don't mess with the proven formula too much. Definitely don't change things just to change them. All of the changes we've made, we've tried to be very intentional about them and have a purpose or goal that we're trying to achieve with them.
I hope you see the potential that Cash has to be one of the absolute best professional maps in Counter-Strike, and also one of the absolute best maps to put in front of somebody who has never played Counter-Strike a single time in their entire life.
Is it FMP1 or FM phone?
Cut it. Cut it.
They've taken it like proper sportsmen at this stage. We're about to have the question answered of who really is the best of all time.
All 5 players are just great players.
They're both with their knives out. They're both not ready, and somehow Stewie stays alive. Stewie's got the aggressive. He gets by Apex.
We're here to only win. We don't care who we play. We don't care if it's simple, the best player in the world. We don't care if it's the worst player in the world.